Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Uh, we'll talk about whatever you want to. We had a show yesterday because of the delay associated with Christmas. So I'm all talked out. So the link's in the right hand side in case anybody would like to watch or, I'm sorry, like to participate. And I'll go ahead and introduce everybody from, let me see, can I get, nope, I can't get top to bottom. So there we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, Aussie,
Good morning.
Magic Mike,
Hello, everyone.
and Derpy.
Hello.
So, what's everybody doing? I assume everybody had a wonderful holiday so far.
Yes, very
Yeah,
nice. Yep.
not too bad.
Okay.
Very nice.
I'm just watching an ant crawl in between my screens somehow.
Yeah. This is the thing. I'm tempted to call a wellness check on Aussie. He's seeing an ant between the glass on his screen and where the picture is created. I don't think it's possible unless somebody got in there and installed some sort of interesting little screensaver for him. And because I don't think it's physically impossible. I don't think it's physically possible. Anybody else have any theories on this, Derpy?
Sounds like a bug to me.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. That's right. Yeah, I've got a bug. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've already been through that.
So, but like I said, the link's to the right hand side in case anybody would like to join. And but what's everybody up to this week?
I'm still going through the TLCs.
Are you doing more than crowd control?
Crowd control's the main one.
Yeah.
I still don't have a suppressor built, so I'm probably not going to even do the suppressor TLC. Then there's a subjugator one, which I may or may not do.
Yeah.
What's the last one we have?
I don't know. The only one I'm showing a lot, I can check real quickly. The only one I have. What?
Fast and
Death roll? Is that
Feast or Famine? Yeah, that's the subjugator one, or that's the subjugator one.
There's a lurker one. There's a lurker one.
Oh, the lurker, yeah. So the crowd control is the main one. You don't need to do all of them. Just one of them.
Just one of the crowd controls, or one of the TLCs.
Crowd control is the important TLC.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get across on the Wednesday show, because they cut 13 days of real build time relative to when we got the Pegasus in the first raid. So it's going to be a little bit tighter for everybody. I've only done through Prize Pack 3. I just finished that a little while ago because I didn't do anything on Christmas, and we talked a little bit about Prize Pack 1, I think, on the 1 or 2 on the Wednesday show, where the first 2 are really easy bat ray targets. 3 and 4 are, I think we're in a TLC. 4, I don't know. They don't seem to fit. I don't really like those targets. Does anybody recall where those are from, Derpy?
I remember seeing them before in a TLC, although I wasn't very active at that raid cycle. So
I don't think it was in a raid, and they're not. I don't really like them as targets. They don't really seem to be. Maybe they were trying to make something. Well, bat rays might be able to do it, but they don't seem to really lend themselves to one versus the other. And then the last 5 and 6 are raid targets for the silverfish, and 7 is the co-op target where everything runs off the map. It is possible to do it with not being that bad for within the hour. Because everybody knows I despise the 7 targets in an hour type of thing, but not quite as time pressed as some of the other ones. I had forgotten I never did the co-op target, and I've I guess, I'm not really sure what my driving's like. I was able to get that one done for 8 hours and 40 minutes. So it's still a significant chunk of damage, unless somebody else has been able to figure out some secrets I don't know. Because I take most of my damage in that third and fourth one.
Yeah, that's what I'm having too, and I think you're doing better than I am.
Did you happen to watch the Wednesday show and talk about the armor changes?
Yeah, I watched it on the playback. Fitting X armor or that CTX armor on is very useful. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the build tokens, the extra silverfish build tokens laying around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty helpful. So it is one of those you could potentially, unless you're Aussie who doesn't sleep that much, do one in the morning, do another one before you go to bed, and then another one when you wake back up, and basically get 2 done a day and get it all done pretty easily. But it's not one that you, unless you want to coin the repairs, that you can just bang, bang, bang. You need to keep on grinding on this one.
Yeah, I'm not really doing it. I did 1 and 2, and that's all I've done.
Yeah. I'm just really afraid that we are going to get the flagship and pillage, and people not be able to build it because of what I described earlier with the 1 week removed plus the 6 days of build tokens. This will give you 8 build tokens in total, plus the 2 that Kixeye gave us as part of the Kicksmith event. So we were given on the second to the last day, we were given 2 riot tokens. So that gives you a total of 10. Personally, I'm not spending any of the FM tokens until we get the flagship, and I plan to use those 12 days of tokens on the flagship in order to get it done for the raid, because it seems like if you don't have the flag, you don't have everything built and skulled, there is really no target for you to hit.
Other than using your Pegasus and the tier A's next raid.
Well, except for, I think a lot of people hit the 500, what was it, the 903?
Yeah, but you should be able to do them. It won't be nice, but
they
won't be there.
They won't be there is the problem.
Hmm.
Yeah, you'll have the 134 and the 136 targets. And as we saw, the 134 was net. The 134, I guess I never even hit it. The 134 was nasty, and the 136 was
hard to drive.
Hard to drive, but you could still get it done within a reasonable amount of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the upside is usually in this 2 raid cycle, the first raid doesn't have anything useful in it. So there's not as much pressure for points because there's really nothing there's usually no real need to have. So I don't know. Anything else?
There's something kind of tricky about Encounter 7. I'm currently doing 5. I might have to come back to this, but I think you can't complete it fully with riots because the torpedoes won't shoot at one final target in there. I have to do a little bit of testing. But has anyone else encountered that using riots in Encounter 7?
My riots are
riots. No.
My riots are close to done enough to put in there. Are they not shooting down the clouds?
That's what someone commented on a post. The riots are not shooting down the clouds. The torpedoes aren't. So you either have to use Silverfish or the concussive rocket built-in weapon from the riots.
Okay, so you junk jet it.
Yeah, otherwise you can't complete the target at all.
Okay.
I haven't confirmed that. I'm just seeing comments that say that.
Okay. Yeah, it's yeah, it's interesting and weird because I just about an hour or 45 minutes ago or so I finished Prize Pack 3, and I was like, okay, everything's dead, and then I'm like, okay, you got to go kill the clouds, and I was like, it's I don't know.
And does going on auto work for that?
Yes, it does work for
Okay.
that. With I use the silverfish.
Yeah, and does the enemy health bar show up at all?
I had 0 enemy health bar at that point in time.
Okay.
It was absolute. It's like everything was dead. And then that was the only thing left I could see. And then yeah, need silverfish to kill some hidden targets in the cloud and target 7. So it's odd that the torpedoes wouldn't kill them though. So I'm not. It's a little, especially if you had everything timed out. It's a little bit like, it's sort of could be a freak out moment for people. Where like, okay, I went in with 3 minutes left. I'm 12 or 14 minutes into this encounter, and now, I mean, some people would be probably filing some tickets if they could. If they time out and they had to go kill the clouds, and this is the first time we've had to go kill clouds.
Yeah, I didn't have a time issue, but I said, geez, I got all the targets are dead. Why is this not finished? And then it was like I hit the S button and went after the clouds. So
Yeah.
it's strange.
Yeah, and as far as to get more detailed into that, yeah, tier set or the 7th target, you're not going for points. You're just trying to get it done, and it's the last one. So even if you extend beyond the hour, and you're still within the 15 minutes for that encounter, the idea is you just park where you are. You stay away from the mountains on the right, and just let the ships fly off the map and kill themselves, and then start going in, after 5 minutes or so, and killing the rest of the target. And there's still a significant amount of ships left.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does anybody else want to join the show? I'll post the link again. Like I said, I don't have much new to offer since last night. So if anybody has any questions or
Well, how's bounty going for everybody?
I'm not doing it, Mike's not doing it, and Aussie just walked away. So
I have like 13,000, which is not a lot at all, but I like the new special that you talked about last time.
the one for the Stormbringer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have 6 of those in my base or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any in my base, but I think it will. In theory, it was put in place to revitalize it, the Stormbringer. So, in theory, it should work. I haven't run it in comparison as far as damage types to the amount of damage it does relative to other ships. We did just get Battle Pirates next week posted. But yeah, if anybody else has anything to say, what support for January Pillage in one campaign. January Pillage features both garrison and siege targets, new components, and your first chance to get the tier 8.5 skirmish flag ship, the Raging Riot. The December diary provides a look ahead at everything to come in January by the end of the day. So by the end of the day on New Year's Eve, they will post that, and then Pillage starts January 1st. So you get the flag, and that's about it that they tell us there. And then I'm sorry. Go ahead. I think the raid is going to start. Based on this, it should start. I think on the 8th of the month, 8th of January.
Yes, that's pretty tight timing for that flag.
Yeah, that's
Really,
why.
really tight.
Well, that's why I said I'm not spending any FM tokens from this week's FM or next week's FM. I'm saving them all for the flagship.
We might end up having some tokens for either the flag or the riot or generic ship build tokens. Probably not those in pillage. There might be something in pillage.
Yeah, because I think crowd control was put in. I think because of they cut those 13 days away. I wouldn't expect to see build. I would expect to see VXP tokens, but not build tokens for the flag.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
At least that's what they've done historically, but yeah, sometimes they throw history out the window. So. I'll say we're not seeing the ant, just so you know.
Yes, I know.
Where's the ant?
You have to worry when the uncle shows up.
I don't see. Yes, but I don't see the ant crawling across
Well,
the
I'm
screen.
screen sharing, but yeah, you can't see it, can you now?
No. Yes, I think he's making the whole thing up just to mess with me, but who knows? But the link's on the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join and have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. Mike says about new components. Normally we don't see new components. Well, we have. Wasn't there something we also saw in addition to the flagship at one point during this 2-month raid cycle? People thought it was unfair. Well, hopefully they don't have new components coming in at that point. And when they did have the new components, they were flagship only components. As I recall, if I recall correctly, they were components that would only fit on the flagship, minimal build time, yada, yada, yada. So, but I don't see anything that discusses that. Oh, it does say new components. I'm sorry. But I don't know if it's
That's interesting.
New components for the flag or it's new components. I mean, what do you think they could put out there? It's such a late date.
Well, we were having trouble figuring out what that last thing to put on my. I still have 2 special slots on all my riots that are empty.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't sure I would put on there, so maybe there's some of that. Maybe we have a new anti-torpedo because the original one isn't working very well, is it?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, components could be anything, like a weapon or a special or armor. I doubt we'll see an armor, but yeah. I just don't like the fact that it's so close to,
Yeah, hopefully they're flagship only.
Yeah.
And we'll get that look ahead into January thing. They're calling it December. They're calling the December diary when it's everything about January.
Yeah.
And like you said, it'd be better if they just did it raid to raid.
Yeah, because then people would understand what the expectations were between the raid cycles, as far as when they could get something, and when we have 3 FMs, when we have 4 FMs, and I don't know if they're not planning that. They're doing it dynamically to try and figure out. Okay, well, the players don't. There's not enough players that have the riot built with the flagship and whatnot. So we need to throw a little bit something extra in there so they can get those done. So yeah, I don't really understand why they don't do it that way, but oh well. I mentioned it enough times, so. Oops. What are you doing now, Aussie? How do you? Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Trying to find my ant.
Yeah, we want to see this ant. We want proof on that proof of this ant because otherwise I'm really doubting that it exists. Either that or your daughter is just messing with you and installed something on your computer.
Hmm.
So I don't know. You mentioned that there was 2 slots you weren't you didn't have filled. Um, you have one of the engines. You have probably have concussive battery. You have
Yep.
an advanced concussive 3,
Yep. And blister hot bat ray.
blister hot bat ray. Yeah,
You could do that or sealed fire charge.
yeah.
And then the last two so far, I'm thinking Hyper 30 and the hydroatomizer nozzle. And I'm still thinking about just making my one of my regular rides just 100% attack only and putting a concussive upgrade there.
Okay. Yeah, and what have you right now? Without knowing more, I've only used 3 armor slots on the ones that I've put armor on because I'm not sure, and I guess I'm never gonna know before the raid. I'm just going with 2 concussive. The 2 of the isotope, the 5,000 each concussive, and 1 of the explosive at this point until maybe I figure out a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm thinking most of the explosive damage will be avoidable.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to go with 2 concussive and 2 of the FTX, or 3 concussive, 1 of the FTX, or the CTX. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking majority damage will be concussive, kind of like in the Nemesis raid, Arch Nemesis X raid. If you drove that perfectly, you took 0 corrosive. I'm thinking it might be similar to that.
Yeah, because the sources of damage that we saw that were explosive were the I forgot the name of the sub. It was a Reaver sub that we had.
Hellwraith?
Yeah, the Hellwraith was putting out what I've been calling the flaming trash cans, which appear to be doing explosive damage. But if you drove perpendicular to them, you could appear to avoid that damage. And then
So they're dumb fire torpedoes, explosive damage.
yes, and then you had mortars that came off of the Arch Nemesis or Proto Nemesis, and those appear to be the only 2 sources of explosive, and both seem to be, like you said, avoidable. Yeah, that's why I only put 1 of the X's on. So
Let's see. Michael on YouTube chat there is saying special weapon for Riot. We already have the special weapon for the Riot. It's the Jagged Bite torpedo.
well, he's thinking maybe for the flag.
Oh yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way I could see that as a special, heavy weapon for the flag. Kind
of like the Ironclad. Yeah, he said Ironclad Dragoon type thing.
Yeah, that's or what we got on the Bat Ray, where you had. Didn't we have? Didn't the Bat Ray have? It wasn't a heavy weapon, but you could only put it on the flag.
Yeah, there was some special weapon. It was the Lightning Strike Gatling guns. Mm-hmm. There was also a special that you could only go on the flag.
Yeah, that's what I would hope it would be, as far as if the new component is for this tier 8.5 skirmish cycle. So, yeah, Mike wants us to have our own smart torpedo, which would be interesting. I don't know. if it's that long range, and it would, I, I don't know. I mean, I think it would be fun. I'm just trying to figure out how they would test this. That the players wouldn't figure out some way to have, you know, some smart torpedo with, like 500 range that's just going to go and chase down ships. I like the I do like the idea. I'm just curious how they would QA it and make sure that it's appropriate for game balance.
Here's something interesting. The Riot build tokens you can get, they have a 10-day limit, or you can only hold 10 of them. I don't know how many you get from the TLC.
8.
8, okay, so you're not worried. And we already got 2 or 3 from the...
Two.
Okay, so you shouldn't run into any issues where you're maxed out.
Unless you buy a time-limited offer.
Those sometimes have... I don't know about this because I haven't bought it, but they sometimes have different caps.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's something.
Yeah, that is true. That sometimes they fit in 2 different categories, but that was, I think that's very limited in application. I don't think that's going to be the case, because I did ask about that associated with the assault, and they've cleaned those pretty much out of the game unless you can find some good examples besides structure build tokens, and I can't think of any that are still present in the game.
What's that?
That you have 2 different for a build token, not for other type, but a build token that has 2 separate types besides the structure build tokens, where you can have a 1 day that does one thing and another 1 day that fits into another category.
The one I was thinking about was the structure build token.
Yeah, they've tried to clean those out of the game, because that was more of an issue earlier on, and I think they realized that there were some issues with that. So, to be honest, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, because some players are like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that time limited offer, because I can go out and earn them hitting this campaign, and then I can't. If I buy this, I'm over the limit. I'm forced to spend them at that point in time. So I agree that they should probably have a buy category and a earn category, and have them separate. That way you're not discouraging players from buying stuff because they think they can earn it in a time-limited campaign. It seems to be shooting themselves in the foot, is all I'm saying. So, yeah, because those, I do agree, they were more prevalent, but they've, as far as, if you look around, I can't find any anymore they're like that. But that used to be a much larger issue. The other way they could fix it is allow people to buy 12-hour tokens, and that would be one way to deal with it. Gift, let players earn 1 day and buy twice as many 12-hour, and that would and have that fit in a different category. Because I would prefer, of course, everybody would prefer twice as many 12 hours over, the 1 day.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So nobody else wants to join the show? Is it Mike or is it Derpy that are scaring everybody away? Well, we'll pull out later. I'm just kidding, Derpy. Um, as far as the, I know, I'm sure Aussie is fully stocked on them, but and I think Mike is as well. I'm not. Is the limited depth charges that go on the silverfish? It seems like they should have been releasing I haven't been able. I only have half of my silverfish with the limited ones. I think I have 23 total. Do you have that same problem, Derpy?
I didn't know they existed, so
You
I
don't
don't
have
think
any of them?
I don't think so.
Which one do you have on your ships?
Let me check. I have the game open, so it shouldn't take that long. Okay.
Yeah, Spooner thinks that the ant is ringing Aussie's doorbell. I think that's what's going on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
On my silverfish, I have barbed Gatling gun.
Okay, as first, I think the other one's the Viper hooded or something of that nature.
Let's see my limited Pit Viper Gatling gun.
Yeah, that's the limited one.
I have 3 of those.
Okay, yeah.
Available, so that's not going to do a ton.
Well, but I would recommend if you, yeah. Again, you don't have any of the silverfish build tokens.
But if people do, put the armors on first, then put those on.
Yeah, and you can amp up your ships quite a bit.
And the at least the VXP target we saw, everything in it was pretty slow. So it's not like you're running into a huge issue if you tried to use silverfish in the top targets. It's not going to be good, but it wouldn't be impossible.
Yeah, was it you or was it somebody else that was hitting the? There was somebody in Discord that was hitting the. I don't know. Now that I think about it, it wasn't you, but somebody was hitting.
Yeah, it was the 134, 136 with Nemesis X.
No, somebody was hitting the VXP targets with silverfish to get the Defender VXP tokens.
I didn't do any of that. I didn't post anything, but I did complete one target using silverfish.
Yeah, and they were getting like 9 hours of damage. Is what they were posting. I can't recall if it was you or somebody else, but
it wasn't me.
Okay, because I was like, okay, 9 hours for 3 VXP tokens. I'm going to steer clear of that at this point. But yeah, people were able to do the targets with the silverfish because they're still tier 8. Everything's tier 8, so there's not like it's going to be tier limited out of it. So
it's interesting. We've seen everything shift from going up by 1 tier to going up by half a tier. And that just makes it seem like it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, I guess so, because they're concentrating, I think, too much on the fact that they want to have everything switch tier every year, and so that's why they're changing from 8, a full tier, to a half a tier, 4 months, and now we're down to 2 months. They're too focused on the calendar at times. Sort of like with we both brought up with the CM diary that goes from the first of the month to the last of the month, as opposed to something that's more meaningful in the game.
Yep.
Like raid to raid. So, well, nobody out there in YouTube world else wants to join us. So, does anybody else have much else that they want to talk about?
Talk about bounty if you want to talk about bounty, but that's what's left.
No, go ahead. We can talk about bounty.
No, I'm just saying that's the only thing left.
Yeah. Well, I can go get a beer because you and Derpy are both doing bounty. I'm not. Yeah, Derpy's doing bounty. doesn't have I don't think he has as many points as you do, but he's chugging along, and now at this point in time, the kick side targets are off the map, so it's Lawrence would probably discuss the prizes or whatnot. So I'll go get a beer, and you guys can talk bounty.
How are you going with it, Derpy? I didn't know.
Well, I'm at 16,000 bounty points. I got a couple from the 114 kickside base.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. I didn't start straight away yesterday. I waited till just before the second drop. So I got the first drop, then the second drop pretty much straight away. I found last night when I was doing it, the 101s and the 94s you could do with your, if you got 5 subjugators, instant map repair.
It's pretty good. I was still taking damage. I was using breachers and howlers.
Yeah, well, I started off with breacher. Oh, not breachers. With basilisks and a subjugator. Yeah, and then I found some targets. So, okay, we'll try this out. 94 was actually 0-0 damage. I couldn't even repair the ship. That's how much damage it didn't take. And in the 101, sometimes it'd be under and it'd be an instant map repair. Sometimes just over 5. So that wasn't too bad. So I hit a bunch of those last night and this morning. I got up early.
I definitely turned it into more of a PvE grinding event than a PvP base hitting event.
Yeah. What do you think of the prizes? The new, whatever it's called. What's it called?
Well, I said I'm gonna get the new missile special for 22,000, and then I'm kind of far behind on all the turret stuff. Maybe there's some old stuff I can catch up on, but I'll need to click through everything and see how many points I actually want to earn.
Yeah, because that missile, original missile, never really worked properly, so I wasn't going to bother. But got it in the end. The special, that is.
And then, yeah, there's a couple things in there. It's nothing great. There's some upgrade kits.
Yeah, we need the tokens. That's what we need. The tokens that they're giving us are for old ships. We need the new ones. Pretty much run out of stuff to buy now anyway.
I still need to get some of the are there breacher upgrade tokens, upgrade kits rather. I still need to upgrade my breachers. They're all 4 of them are at U0 still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just work back on the FM and maybe TLC. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I can do that TLC. Seems a lot of work. Oh, this is ant.
There is one Hyper 30 available in here, looks like. And some breacher kits.
Hang on, I'm just videoing this ant.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it can't be anything can't be a screensaver because you'd be able to see it.
Talking more about the ant. I want a picture of that posted on the page.
Oh, where it come from?
Imagine how it feels.
Yeah, it probably doesn't know how to get out.
Yeah.
This is weird. I know, because I was playing the game earlier and I saw this ant run across the screen, so I tried to squash it, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what the fuck? Anyway.
Have you tried anything to get it out?
No.
A little bit of sugar? Sprinkle some sugar in your keyboard.
It's not in the keyboard. It's in the screen. It's weird. Oh.
Someone's got their YouTube open.
No, I was checking to see if I can see the ant properly on the.
It can't be eating when it can't be a screensaver because you'd be able to see it.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Okay.
We're
videoed
discussing
the
ways to
ant.
get the ant out of his screen.
Okay. We still haven't seen the ant. That's why the wellness check is
Okay.
still scheduled.
Hang on. I should be able to upload it to the computer. Surely.
Yeah, Mitchell, yeah, you have 59 Pit Viper Gatling guns. And if you have a bunch of they were available in a lot of events, Silverfish tokens, do that and do the change from the hydrofoil over to the what's the name of that one? The F2 CTX. You go from 720 concussive and explosive survival and to 2,000 at the same weight. You also go from 100,000 armor points to 200,000 armor points. Both have 1 second repairs. So yeah, if you have the extra tokens, I would do it before you work too hard on the crowd control campaign for the riot tokens. I'm sorry. So I was stepped away to get a beer. But is there any? Did I interrupt your bounty discussion or?
No,
Not
you
really,
interrupted
no.
my ant discussion.
Okay. Well, I did see a. Was it a SciShow on? I think it was a SciShow. It might have been something else on Ant-Man. No. It was. It's a. Have you guys ever seen on YouTube these specials where you have one it gets posted by Vanity Fair, one by GQ, where you have people watching movies that are experts in whatever.
I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, and there was one on Marvel phenomenons, and by a physicist that actually wrote a book on it. But it was Ant-Man got involved as far as how he was able to what was it, pick at him, or what was Ant-Man's actual name? I don't recall, but how atoms were able to get smaller and larger, and it's like, this one's never going to happen. But it's an interesting series. I just wish you could follow it under a single channel. But so I don't know. We're getting pretty far afield, so unless anybody has any more questions or things they want to interject for us to talk about, we can probably head off to the after show. Going once, going twice.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, we will see you on Wednesday. Okay. Oh, you're going to show us the ant? He killed the ant. He's going to have it barbecued.
Put the ant on the Barbie.
Yep. Throw a couple ants in the Barbie. Oh, there we go. All right. You're using your phone. Okay. All right. There's something.
I see something.
Yeah. I'm missing it.
You got the pointer on it? Is that what they're doing?
Oh,
Yeah,
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 he's the pointer on it.
yeah. There's,
Oh,
There's
there it
something around
goes.
the
Yeah.
screen.
I see
but
it.
it's not on the surface of the screen.
It's between the screen and the.
No. But it could be on the surface. He's using his cell phone to
Yeah.
broadcast this.
You
You need
should
to
be
put
able
up a
to
good
wipe it off with
screensaver
his
for
hand,
it.
though, if that's the case.
Put up a maze. Make it run around.
No, it's not
All right.
on the screen because I've tried to squash it.
Maybe it's too fast.
Maybe he's really quick.
No. It's not that. Yeah. Anyway,
And this is a laptop.
no.
Okay, so this is a LCD monitor.
Well, it's an all-in-one computer, so it should. Yeah.
Okay, is it a touchscreen?
Is it
Is
what?
it a touchscreen?
Yeah.
Can the anti-roll for you?
Okay, maybe the touchscreen does have some small amount of space in there. Maybe that's the difference. That's the only thing I can think of is the touchscreen has a very small amount of space between the glass and the screen. I'm just looking at mine, which is a normal one.
There's got to be some vents in the back or something.
No, but yeah, mine has vents in the back, but there's no space between. It's screened. But if he has a touch screen, there might be some space in there to allow your fingers or whatnot, whatever you're touching your monitor with.
That's to make the connection and back off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I'm.
That's interesting.
Yep. So
Anyway, that's the end of the show.
yeah.
End it with Ant-Man.
Yeah. So, alrighty, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll be talking about pillage, and I'm really looking forward to what the flagship is going to be, and especially the components. And I'm really hoping they're flagship only components, and hopefully you can build the flagship completely in 14 days, 13, 14 days. Beyond that,
Yeah.
So, alrighty. We'll see you then. We'll talk about that, and you all have a happy New Year, because the next show is going to be
New Year's Day? New Year's Day?
New Year's Day. So we won't see you. So
We'll see you all year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
See you next year for sure.
Yeah, next year you can. It's plenty of time to build your riots. You got a whole year. So
Shit, see you next decade.
yeah.
Decade does not end until the 1. The 0 is still part of the decade.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for busting my bubble.
Yeah.
We'll have
See you
this
next
and other
year.
debates and the after show.
People on TV are wrong then because they're saying it's the end of the decade. Okay.
Well, decade is 10.
'cause you don't start anew.
Decade until
The one?
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. I accept it.
Well, it's 10. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So it's got to be the end of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Or 20 in this case.
It's kind of true. It is a leap year. It is a leap year, though. That you can't.
Oh, it's never got another day. So it's going to take a bit longer to get there.
You're going to have an extra day. That's right.
Yeah, and the after show, Magic Mike and Aussie are gonna,
What are we going to do?
Debate.
take their shirts off and bare knuckle fight this one out.
Oh, yeah, right.
Decade ends and begins. Even though they're in,
Hey,
Oh,
Derpy started it.
I'm easy. I accept it.
Okay, all right. Well,
Derpy started it, not me.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just agreeing with him.
I had it wrong.
And I get involved.
I had it wrong. I got corrected. I accept it.
all right. Well, okay. Decade is
Starts the last year of the decade. How's that?
all right.
Yeah.
We're all good on this.
Yeah, okay.
All righty. We'll see you on not next decade, but
Next year, though. Yeah.
next year. Yeah, we're
Get
still
that
good with
right.
that. So and remember when you see the time limited offers out there, remember to party like it's 1999.
99. Thinking about it.
Well,
Yeah.
$39.99.
Yeah.
Hang on, what is it?
So later, people. We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right.
Care,
I'll
everybody.
see you later with my aunt. Hopefully not.